reach for those frozen appetizers thinking they're just a quick fix. You trust the brands believing they're giving you decent food for your family. But what if that quick fix is sneakily bad for you? What if the labels are hiding a long list of junk you wouldn't touch if you knew? Today, we show you why everything you thought about your favorite frozen snacks is about to change forever. It's a scene we all know. You're in the freezer aisle, you see a familiar box of mozzarella sticks or mini quiches, and you just toss it in the cart. It's easy, and you figure, how bad can it really be? But that's exactly what the big brands are counting on. They hope you won't flip the box over and read that tiny print. Because if you did, you'd find ingredient lists that are a mile long, packed with weird chemicals, fillers, and artificial junk. So we did the hard work for you. We went through the labels and sorted the good from the truly awful. Today, we're counting down the 7 absolute worst frozen appetizers you should stop buying immediately. And stick around, because after we expose the bad guys, we'll show you the 3 amazing brands that are actually using real food. You'll know exactly what to grab next time. Number 1. TGI Fridays Frozen Mozzarella Sticks. This is a classic you see in every freezer aisle. And you probably think, it's just cheese and breading, how bad can it be? But when you look at the ingredients, it's a whole different story. That crunchy coating isn't just flour, it's bleached wheat flour, which has been stripped of its nutrients. Then there's modified food starch, a processed filler used to make them seem thicker. They're also packed with cheap soybean oil and not 1, but 2 kinds of sugar, regular sugar and dextrose. For a savory snack, that's a lot of unnecessary junk. You're getting a factory product, not a simple appetizer. And believe it or not, the next one is even worse. Number 2. Bagel Bites Pizza Snacks. This is the ultimate nostalgic snack. We all love these after school, right? But the reality of what's inside them is a lot less comforting. That cheese isn't just mozzarella, it's a cheese blend, which often uses modified food starch and palm oil as cheap fillers. The tomato sauce is another problem. It's loaded with corn syrup, hiding sugar in a supposedly savory snack. And if you get the pepperoni version, you're getting a dose of sodium nitrite, a chemical preservative that many health experts warn against. You think you're eating a mini pizza, but you're actually eating a collection of highly processed, factory-made ingredients. But while processed meat is bad, our next item has a hidden danger that's even sneakier. Number 3. Totino's Pizza Rolls. These are a freezer staple, but the sneaky danger here isn't just one ingredient. It's that almost nothing is what it seems. You think you're getting real cheese, but the label admits it's imitation mozzarella, a cheap blend of palm oil and food starches. The pepperoni is just as bad, loaded with preservatives like BHA and BHT to keep it from going bad on a shelf. Combine that with the ridiculously high sodium packed into a tiny serving, and it's clear what you're eating. This isn't a simple snack, it's a chemical cocktail designed in a lab, not a kitchen. But as bad as lab-made ingredients are, our next appetizer has a problem that's far more direct. Number 4. Farm-rich mozzarella sticks. You might think mozzarella sticks are a safe bet. It's just cheese and breading, right? But the problem here is brutally direct. The salt. Just 3 of these sticks pack in over 500 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly a quarter of the salt you're supposed to have in an entire day, all in one tiny snack. And the breading is just as bad. It's not just flour and seasoning, it's held together with methyl cellulose. That's a lab-made chemical used as a filler and thickener. You think you're eating a simple appetizer, but you're actually getting a salt bomb glued together by science. But as bad as that is, our next brand tries to trick you by slapping a healthy label right on the box. Number 5. Great value frozen appetizers. Don't let the simple packaging fool you. This is a classic store brand play. Make the product look like a basic, no-frills option to hide what's really inside. Take their mozzarella sticks or jalapeno poppers. The cheese is often bulked up with modified food starch and palm oil, cheap fillers that add fat but zero nutrition. Then, to make sure they can sit in a freezer for over a year, they're loaded with chemical preservatives. You think you're getting a great value, but what you're really paying for is a mix of cheap oils and fillers designed to maximize shelf life, not your health. But while picking on a store brand is easy, what happens when a famous restaurant name does the exact same thing? You're about to find out. Number 6, Kroger frozen appetizers. Just because it's a big, trusted name doesn't mean it's good for you. Let's look at their jalapeno poppers. A single tiny serving packs a shocking amount of sodium. We're talking nearly half of what the American Heart Association recommends for an entire day. But the salt is just the beginning. To keep them sitting in the freezer for a year, they're loaded with artificial preservatives like sodium benzoate and calcium propionate. This isn't about keeping food fresh, it's about extending shelf life at any cost. You're not eating a simple snack, you're eating something designed in a lab to outlast real food. But while store brands are a common problem, our next offender is far more shocking. Number 7. Market Pantry and Good and Gather frozen appetizers. This one is shocking because Target's Good and Gather brand tries so hard to look healthy and wholesome. You see the clean packaging and think you're making a better choice. But flip over the box and you'll find the same old tricks. Let's look at their boneless chicken bites. You'd expect chicken, but the ingredient list is packed with things like modified cornstarch and soy protein concentrate. Those aren't there for taste, they're cheap fillers used to bind together lower quality meat scraps. You're not buying solid pieces of chicken, you're buying a highly processed chicken-flavored paste. It's a marketing trick in a pretty package. So, after all this bad news, is there anything good in the freezer aisle? The answer is yes. And our next brand is one you can actually trust. Number 8. Feel Good Foods. Mozzarella sticks. Finally, a brand that actually gets it right. When you flip over this box, you'll see something amazing. An ingredient list you can actually understand. They use real whole milk mozzarella cheese, not a processed cheese food substitute. And the coating is where they really stand out. Instead of a mix of cheap flour and chemical binders, they use a simple gluten-free coating made from things like rice flour, and there are no weird starches or gums holding it all together. You're just getting real cheese in a crispy coating. It's what a frozen appetizer is supposed to be. Simple food made convenient. It's great to see a company doing things the right way. And they're not alone. Our next brand takes that same idea and applies it to a classic comfort food. Number 9. Brazzi Bites Brazilian Cheese Bread. If you've never had Brazilian cheese bread, you are in for a serious treat. These little puffs are another perfect example of a brand keeping things incredibly simple. The magic here comes from tapioca flour. It's what makes them naturally gluten-free and gives them that famously chewy, airy texture. No weird starches or gums needed to fake it. The rest of the ingredient list is just as clean. Real cheese, eggs, and milk. This is just a simple, traditional recipe made with ingredients you could actually find in your own kitchen. You're not eating a processed snack. You're eating real food that happens to be frozen. Number 10. Applegate Naturals. Chicken nuggets. Finding a good chicken nugget in the freezer aisle can feel impossible, but this is the one to look for. Applegate's entire brand is built on doing things the right way, and their chicken is the perfect example. They guarantee their chicken is raised with no antibiotics ever. And it comes from animals that were humanely raised. The rest of the ingredient list is just as clean. The breading is made from simple wheat flour and spices. No weird fillers or chemical binders. It's just a simple, high-quality chicken nugget. This is proof that you don't have to give up your favorite comfort foods to eat well. The big lesson here, that quick fix you grab can either be a sneaky problem or a genuinely good choice. It all comes down to what's on that ingredient list. Now you know the red flags to watch for and the healthy choices to pick up instead.